welcome to the August 11th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome those of you that are in attendance and those of you that are tuned in. We will get right into the agenda here. Any announcements from anybody on the board? Additions or deletions that we might have missed here? We're all set. Hearing a delegation, anyone that's not on the agenda that would like to speak? Paul, step right up to the...
Paul Tibbet, I retired at 251 Waterboro Road, Waterboro, Maine. I have a couple of kind of minor things tonight, but I'm working on some other very serious issues with the town. It's probably going to take me several months to get together, and we'll probably be bringing them up, I hope, at the next town meeting. And you'll be hearing about it from time to time, but some of them are very serious, and I hope that we can resolve them and move on. And I think it'll make our town even better, you know. But anyway, the two things I'd like to talk about tonight is one is a tree, and that tree is on Ricker Lane. And if you turn on Ricker Lane at the restaurant off from West Shore Road, you go by Tony Taylor's house is on the left, the parking area for the restaurant is on the right. That tree is the very next tree on the left, which is in the town right of way for Ricker Lane. That tree's been hit with lightning so many times in the last 20 or 30 years. It's a very large tree, and it can reach at least three homes. It shouldn't fall either way. And I think the town needs to really take a hard look at it and get it out of there, because it's a very danger to our residents. And you know, it's a huge tree. It's not something a person can go over there and cut down with a chainsaw and haul it off. Otherwise, I would do it myself. But this thing is big. It's just hundreds of feet high, and it's split, and you can see the danger there because the inside is dead. And last time we had a bad storm, I was over there, and it took me 2 dump truck loads just to haul the limbs off. But the tree is dangerous, and I wish the town would go over there and take it down.
Is it pine or
yeah,
oak?
It's pine. Yeah, it's been there forever.
Oh, I was playing around with the earphones and didn't hear where the tree is.
It's on Ricker Lane, right across from the, where Woody's restaurant is, on that little lane that goes down.
Okay.
And if you start down that lane, Mr. Taylor's house is on the left, and Woody's is on the right. It's the very next tree on the left after leaving the Taylor property. And you can't miss it. I mean, this thing is like 4 feet at the bottom, whatever, but it's in bad shape, and my daughter's house is across the street, and that could demolish her entire house and probably kill her whole family if it came down. It could also reach, if it went the other way, it could reach Tommy and Sharon Contois's house in the rear, or if it went to Tony Taylor's, it could also reach his house. It's dangerous and not something a person can take down alone.
You said that's on the town right away?
Yes, it is. It's within, I think, within 3 feet of the tower of the town, you know, the tarred road.
So whose lot is it on?
I don't know that. I think it's basically on a line somewhere there, you know, but I don't know exactly what that is. It may be half on Tony's, it may be half on Tommy's and Sharon's, but it's right there at the edge of the road. You can't miss it. And it's very, very in bad shape. It's in bad shape. It's been in bad shape for a long time, and I said, you know, we really ought to do something about it, because it's not something that, you know, we don't want to take a life for a tree, you know. I don't anyway, you know.
Well, we're fortunate that we have our Director of Public Works here with us tonight, and you've just made him aware. I'm sure that with his due diligence, as in the past, that he will look at that and
Okay. all right?
That would be my,
I'm sure I'll see him sooner or later, and you know, I'll be probably here at the next meeting. I'm trying to make your life a little more exciting this year. You know,
You got a second issue, Paul?
no, yes, I do.
Okay.
The other issue is, because I live on the lake, and I live in the no-wake zone, which is right where that little house is on the Narrows. You know, it's on the island, the only house on the island on the lake. And in the last 2 years, it's gotten so bad. I mean, the jet skis go by there, and they go by at 50 miles an hour, I think. You know, they absolutely don't even respect the zone. And also, I used to see, I've been there like 12, 15 years, but I used to see the game wardens in that cove a couple times a summer and on a weekend, and they would give tickets and tell people, you know, this is a no wake zone, and you really need to have no wake. And I haven't seen them for 2 years. Now, they may have been on the lake, but they have not been in that cove for 2 years. And I've been watching for them, especially this year. I've had an operation on my hip, and so I've had a lot of time to spend at home and recuperating, and I have not seen a game warden on that lake in 2 years. Now,
have you called in
I have
Went
not,
to the
because I
barracks?
didn't know if I should, or if it was the town's responsibility to do that, or, but they used to be there, and I'm sure that if I decided to throw a worm in that water on a hook without a license, I'd get a tap on the shoulder, and lo and behold, there it'd be. But, you know, that aside, I mean, I don't think there's 5% of the people that go through there actually respect that zone. And, you know, some of them slow down like half speed, which is even worse, because the boat starts pushing water. And if they slow down at 20 miles an hour, they might as well go 50, because at 50 miles an hour, they're gonna have half the wake as they would at 20. But they think that, well, if I slow down, it's okay. But it's not okay. My docks are going like this, my kids are they're out there in tubes trying to swim, and it's going like this, you know, and it's just a dangerous situation. And if you try to tell the jet skiers to slow down, you holler at them, they just give you the finger or do something like that. And you'd like to kill them, but you can't catch them. You know, they're already gone. But I mean, it's been a situation that's getting worse over the last couple of years. And I'd like to see the game warden back a couple times in the summer to at least tone it down a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Feel free to call the Fish and Game Department. You carry just as much weight as probably we would here. But
I will do that. I'll do it next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think the warden for this area is Carl Richardson.
Pardon?
I think a warden for this area is Carl Richardson.
Carl Richardson, okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Roger?
Name's Roger Lozier, 24 Weber. The reason for being here tonight is to invite our town administrator and the Board of Selectmen to a meeting here at Town Hall, the old Town Hall Meeting Hall, Saturday morning at 9, for the purpose of hearing, or just being here to hear what's going to transpire. The residents of Logan Circle have all been invited also to attend the meeting, and for the purpose of forming a road maintenance association. The meeting will be moderated by my attorney, Michael O'Toole, or one of his representatives from Edmond, Danilick, and Austin. Also inviting the road commissioner. It's more, your presence would be greatly appreciated for the purpose of being informed as to what's happening. At this point, I don't want to elaborate. I will leave it up to the attorney to take and answer questions. But I think it would be beneficial for the selectmen and other townspeople to attend. We've spent quite a bit of time and resources to research forming associations. So I think, once again, it would be quite beneficial to attend the meeting. Hopefully you could make it. If not, I can be contacted after the meeting to answer any questions that you might have. Hopefully we see you Saturday morning.
All right,
Thank you very much.
thanks, Roger.
That was 9 o'clock, Roger, right?
Yeah, you said 9.
Okay.
Anyone else? Doug?
I'm here tonight as president of the Waterboro Land Trust. Through the generosity of M.R.S.A and her mother, who passed away recently, Waterboro Land Trust was given cash and other forms of money in the amount of $250,000. And on the 28th of July, I closed on 268 acres of land on the Bennett Hill Road, formerly of B.C. Jordan, and then after that, other people, and finally L.L. Clark, and then heirs of L.L. Clark. So in doing that, we acquired the land. After you go across the culvert, there's a dirt road, now there's a gate on. We acquired all the land in green. The land in yellow, I believe, is the last piece that the town bought off Cudahy. There's a small portion of that that's on that side of the brook. And it serves no general purpose to the town. This property line here is just outside of where you're putting your grindings and materials at the transfer station. So we're requesting that this piece of land here be turned over to the land trust. Of course, at one time this was all one piece, but then when it got split up, they used this dirt road as a boundary line. And this total piece is 60 acres, so you can see that from the center of the brook up through here is generally the biggest portion of the land. This is a few acres of land, but it would allow us to straighten out the road and do some other improvements to the land.
So that, I mean, that, I think when we bought that, that came from the old Clark.
Come from Cudahy. This piece came from Cudahy.
I was thinking that I'm trying to remember, yeah, and that might have, that was the lady's name, I think, but she was an heir of
Well,
Clark's.
Pena, who, if you recall, I believe they're the people that owned the Dodge dealership on Route 1 in Kennebunk. They were the descendants, but I believe that they sold it to Cudahy, who Cudahy eventually sold it. There's a chain of title on here somewhere, but this is the piece that we're looking to acquire down here.
All right, we'll take that as an official request, and we'll have to put that on an agenda item for the future.
And
Most of that is bog, right?
yeah, there's a narrow strip up through here. We test pitted that years ago because Casper Incorporated had this whole piece under contract at one time. And they thought there was gravel there, but there's a very small, just a couple little humps of gravel. They leveled a lot of it off when they built the road out through there, when they logged it off, so. I'll turn that around so the people behind us can see. This is the town's piece that's over here, and this is what the land trust bought over here. We bought this down through here, it's 268 acres, and that's 60 acres of town. And what we're asking for is what's on this side of the brook to square up our land over there. So
Where are you gonna keep that?
where am I gonna keep this? I don't know. It's been in my file since I got it. Also, to let you know, Gary and I don't know if he's mentioned it or not, have requested, there seems to be a shortage of information here on what the town has and owns and land, and we have a request that's being taken care of now. We're gonna have a complete set of maps of every piece of town property that's been surveyed by anybody that's just recorded, so that we will have a survey map, because we are missing those. And, you know, there's not a lot of people around to remember what's been surveyed, and Sebago Tex has a lot of it on file, but it's so scattered and done in different forms that before Charlie retires, it's time to get this stuff here and officially put somewhere where we know where it is, because we just took over a book that's quite important. Gary has a copy in his office. Do they have a copy, Gary?
The one that you wanted 6 copies of?
Yeah,
No, I didn't give them each a copy. We made 6 copies.
we made 6 copies. It's a book starting in the 1700s,
Yeah.
and it's got every road in town up through the 1800s and maybe even up to 1900, huh?
I didn't think it-
1800s.
I think so.
It tells the articles where they were listed, and so that information is now in the town hall.
Okay.
The only other thing I see you got on the list later for Dollar General.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have somebody inspect that work that's being done up there? They had specs that they had to follow on filling in the well that's gonna be under the road that you're looking to sign an easement on. They're supposed to fill it with concrete and then compact all the dirt, because it's actually, that well is gonna be under the road.
Yeah, I don't think that's in the easement area though, is it?
That would have to be.
It is. It's right, it's under the pavement.
Right in that cut.
Yeah, I thought the cut was just on the corner. Short answer is yes. I mean, between code officer, you and myself, we'll look at that.
Do you want this?
We might need to make copies of that. We can talk about that outside of here. Just keep it available, I guess, please.
Okay? Anyone else? Well, not, we'll move on here. So, get into the rest of the agenda. Item 7, correspondence, get the treasurer's report, motor vehicle agent, July 2015 report, and list of vacancies on the town boards and committees. Reports from staff, reports and staff initiatives. Any selectmen's reports? I'll start to my left. Gordon?
And I can report this time.
John?
Cemetery committee met yesterday, and they're pretty active as individuals working on restoring or cemeteries in various parts of town. There's a plan on September 19th, Saturday morning, for the committee to work on the West Road, cemetery up off the West Road. So that's a group project. We had a demonstration of cleaning gravestones out back here with the D2 solution, a soft brush with water. Does a great job. I got a bottle of it for the Elder Grave Cemetery. So they're active. The community garden, if you haven't gone out and taken a look at the community garden, it's pretty impressive now. It's been really cleaned up. The last meeting that we had was Monday before yesterday, and had a working meeting of painting picnic tables. And so there's a couple of picnic tables out there. It's been cleaned up nicely, and the garden is in full splendor right now with the flowers and the vegetables. There's some really good growth this year. So if you get a chance, just step behind the fence and take a look. It's something I think we can be pretty proud of.
Is the broccoli ready?
I've eaten my broccoli. My broccoli's gone.
Last year, somebody
Tomatoes are coming in pretty
stole
good.
all of the broccoli. Dwayne, you have anything?
No.
One thing I have, I did attend the planning board meeting the other night. Kurt Clausen is the newly elected chair, and I thought between he and Lee J. Feldman, who is the I'll call him our resident planner.
Contract
planner. I think they handled the meeting very well and pretty organized and whatnot. And there was a kind of a workshop revisiting a little bit of the campground improvements and whatnot, but it wasn't another public hearing. But so I think they're off to a good start. We still need for the year anyway, we still need a member of the planning board, so we're still trying to recruit an additional person there. So, like a number of other committees, so I guess the message to anyone that's interested in getting involved, take a look at what's available on the committees, and certainly we welcome anyone that would like to volunteer. Gary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's talk about Straw Mill Brook Road very briefly. The grading, if Mother Nature cooperates, will be completed by the end of this week, and hopefully the base coat paving by the end of next week on Straw Mill Brook Road. In terms of a brief update on the salt shed, we're going to Planning Board August 19th with a site walk and their initial discussions on that application. I went to a meeting at the Poland Spring plant up the street here, and obviously there's quite a bit of angst in Hollis about where the trucks are going, where they should not be. And it's obvious that the trucking companies are making some significant progress. And I'm assuming we're seeing less truck volume coming down Townhouse Road over the last 6 months. But people in Hollis are moving towards happy, but not quite satisfied yet. We're a lot of people there. It's the first meeting I've been to for that issue. The storm that hit us August 4th rather, took a lot of public works time. We had to hire some contractors, and I'm sorry Doug left because this would be at his expense. He got to plow in August. He was plowing debris. He was plowing branches and bushes and leaves and everything, but he got to put his snowplow on his truck in August, so plowing off a couple of miles of the middle road for the damage that night. I attended a meeting of the Economic Development Committee where Sean Shoemaker, the gentleman that is going to develop the lot across from the North Waterboro Church, was there asking for input from the committee about what he could and should have for businesses up there. It was a wide-ranging discussion. And then on a personal note, I'll be at a town managers conference tomorrow and Thursday and back in the office on Friday. And I had a note here for Logan Circle, but Roger already took care of that, so that's it from me. Thank you.
Okay. Did I miss anything here up at the table? Okay, let's jump into new business. We're going to skip item A because our candidate did not show up for the review at executive session. That's being rescheduled. Discuss new ambulance purchase. So I guess I would, does this may get into some lengthy discussion?
This is an initial.
I'm just looking at, there are other people sitting here, so maybe we,
I imagine there's several folks here for the food pantry issue.
Right.
I don't think this is going to take too long.
Okay.
This is initial information for you to, we're not asking for a decision tonight. This is information for you to consider, maybe come back in 2 weeks and advise
All right.
whether or not you like this idea or not of purchasing the ambulance. So
okay, Chief,
Matt could come up and maybe we'll tag team.
I don't mean to squelch you, Matt, but
No, that's okay.
we're paying you to be here.
So in front of you, you obviously have the memo from Administrator Lamb, and I put a separate document on the back, informational, looking for your input. Obviously, we have the purchase policy that we have guidelines with the approval of the ambulance at the last town meeting. We've explored many different options for chassis availability. Unfortunately, the chassis that we have currently for Rescue 1 is no longer available after December. So we've had to look at other alternatives. We've looked at everything on the market, and while there's certainly a lot of chassis out there, there's not a lot that fit the bill for an ambulance modification. Our latest hurdle is looking at a V10 and realizing that we can't spec it with a gas motor because Ford will not allow a quality vehicle modifier to utilize a vehicle that has a diesel motor available and to supplement. So V10 versus the diesel is a 6.7 liter second generation on the diesel for a Ford. It's the least of all evils, I guess, at this point, looking at them. On the sheet of paper I gave you, on the right-hand side, I put the GVW comparisons, where we're at. So we have not proposed a E-Series, rather, we're looking at the F-Series, and a few changes into it. For example, liquid suspension rather than the air ride. Elimination of the on-spot chains because it's four-wheel drive, because you can't have on-spots with liquid suspension, and a few other basics. So, right now, currently, we have, and I have not read word for word, you can read through this document, but currently we have two vehicles. One's provided by Sugarloaf Rescue Vehicles, manufacturer is PL Custom out of M.R.S.A, New Jersey, and the other is sold by Greenwood Emergency Vehicles. They have a place in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, and Brunswick, Maine, and they sell Horton ambulances and also E1 fire apparatus in Classic. Several years ago, when we explored the option of the purchase on the Rescue 1, and we came before you guys and we had the discussion, we adopted to explore and work with ultimately Greenwood Emergency Vehicles, since the majority of our fleet was an E1 fleet at that point. And our theory was that having the vendor in a central location and consistency with the technicians who were doing the work, that we were hoping to have that level of care that we ultimately wanted then. Our second truck, obviously, the Sugarloaf or PL Custom, while we didn't purchase from them, we've had an opportunity to evaluate the level of service between both vendors at this point over the past several years. And our goal before obviously did not come true. The level of service still with the Rescue 2, the older of the two trucks, has been consistent, reliable, and superior. When we call him, the turnaround time is in within 3 hours, and he's down from the Sugarloaf area. He has a shop in Wilton, and he does, this is his full-time sales gig with a couple of service trucks on the road, responding out in the field. That ultimately minimizes our downtime, which is critical for us because we are fairly consistently out with two trucks a lot of the time, and our turnaround time from hospital back. So it keeps the truck available for the residents of Waterboro. So we've given you specs on both. Obviously, it's your decision what you want to do, and we can certainly go out to a formal bid process. But we would like to look at these two. We originally were thinking it was going to be close to $225,000. Sugarloaf has given us a proposal that comes in with discounts at $193 and change, and Greenwood at $204 and change. So,
I want to, you all set?
Yep.
May I, Dennis?
Yep.
I want to thank Matt and Lisa for putting these figures together. These are solicited quotes from these two companies that we've dealt with. And like he said, we're happy to go through the formal bid process if that's what you want us to do. Customer service means a whole lot to me and to the department as well. And the lack of the reduction in downtime for the vehicle itself, as well as the staff time to ferry one to Brunswick for service, I think means a lot. I'd be surprised if we didn't end up with my recommendation for Sugarloaf in the end. I think their price is quite competitive. But we can come back in 2 weeks after you've had a chance to digest this and take up the discussion further. Like I said, we're not looking for any decision tonight.
Who's the next nearest vendor besides these two here? How far away are we looking? And do they offer the same level of maintenance service?
For Road Rescue, I think I don't even know where their repair shop is. I know there's a couple in Canada. They may have some satellite locations. A lot of them historically, from obviously the business that we're in, we noticed that their dealers are part-time, full-time firefighters for other agencies that do it on the side. And they sell for them. And usually you have to truck it to their shop. One thing that a lot of the companies have gone to, and I'm really not, we haven't had much luck with it, is all this computerization and this multiplexing wiring systems that require computer software. And we've had a couple that have touted that they could do service from remote locations, just dialing through the internet and connecting to our truck and diagnosing. But the more issues or the more relays of computer components we have in the trucks is higher probability of problems. And that's what we're having with some of the multiplexing in the current rescue, or the newer of the two. Rather than going back to some of the old-fashioned relays and working with the switches that work reliably all the time. So I can't answer that question for you. I can get you information on that. There's a variety of manufacturers out there throughout the country. Like I said, PL is actually Manasquan, New Jersey, and Horton is Ohio. Is where they're built.
So we're not gonna get that same personal level of service as we've been getting with Trigolo.
Now, let's go back to Greenwood for a minute here. And by no means are they in poor performance. They have done a great job with fire apparatus. They work with us well on the fire trucks, but when it comes to the ambulance, it's shuttling that vehicle. We need that truck back in service. We depend on that. So shuttling that back and forth to Brunswick when we have issues with it, and obviously the availability of the chassis issue is another problem, but the shuttling back to Brunswick and not having them come out on site has been problematic significantly for us over the last several years. And that's something that Sugarloaf has stood behind to do. Stocking dealer for parts, the availability to come out and quickly get that truck when the turnaround time is quick from him. And he has a couple trucks on the road that can go out in service as well.
I think, Chief, you and I spoke, I guess, one afternoon about, I guess, just philosophy, I guess, over bidding and whatnot. But we've had, and I think you covered it here well, we bought 2 ambulances through Sugarloaf since 2001, right? Certainly they've had a high level of customer service and those kind of things. So, I mean, this comes, I guess it's probably a two-edged sword. We can write up the specification. What you're going to do is write up what you already have, right? And then I guess you run the risk of somebody saying, well, I can't meet the specification because you wrote it exclusively for this person or that person. And I guess if you looked at apples to apples and you took the 2 proposals that you've got, are they close? I mean, are we talking a Golden Delicious and a Macintosh, or are we talking an Orange and a...
The 2 specs you're seeing here?
Yeah.
They're both same chassis. In the body, it's things that they do differently for their process. Nothing that we have nothing in here that's been spec'd out that's any different for Waterboro that any of the communities around us here are for ambulances.
Other than this, one's offering trade allowance and...
Yeah, and that's one thing that I put in there because I thought that was important that, you know, I'm assuming that Ford fleet discount is available on Greenwood. Excuse me. However, that was not disclosed from them initially. We've always had that available from
I would think
from
that
EL, but
any major...
So I put that in there as assuming that. So to be fair, I just stuffed it in there as being applicable there. Trade allowance, they were not excited about it, and he has yet to give us any dollar amount, not that we have a significant dollar trade value anyways. And then there is 2 different bid specs out for Sugarloaf that currently have in the area. One was the Biddeford Saco, and I believe it was Kennebunk area that they bid out on Sugarloaf. They have that bid, and then we went out and solicited information. The town of Alfred actually just recently purchased a PL as well. They ordered, And with that, that's the group offering discount. And that's certainly, we can deduct that. And that wasn't, and I told them there's no, we're not locked into anything, so.
The trade allowance, $3,500
Yeah,
for a $200,000 ambulance?
if it was a 2007 or newer, it would be about 5,000.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking my wife trading in a 12-year-old Toyota with 250,000 miles is gonna get $3,000, you know?
But she's been the only driver. We've
Yeah,
had 28 drivers.
We can certainly put that out to bid or sell that separately and do whatever you want with it. That's what they offered,
I would think out the bid,
Yeah.
you could do better than $3,000, but,
or not.
oh, you know the market.
Or not. It's got the, I'll disclose that I am not a mechanic, okay? I don't work on diesel motors or anything. But I can tell you that that diesel motor that we've got in a 6-liter diesel has been a problem since we had the truck. The number of turbos we replaced and the components in there, we've got, I think over the past 3 years, almost, what, $28,000 just motor repairs in that truck.
Put a head gasket in it yet?
I don't think we've done a head gasket unless they replace it because they ruined it, taking everything else out.
That's $4,500.
But the turbos, there's been some injectors, there's been all kinds of other components that have been replaced on it.
Within the week, we'll be replacing it.
So, and that's, I think that we've been looking at trucks for months because we knew that we had to do something. And ultimately, we're looking at approximately 270 days from when we order. And, whatever the process is for delivery, we fall into their queue for manufacturers. So we're probably not going to see anything until the end of the year at least, so.
So my suggestion, I guess, and I'll share this with the rest of the board as a thought anyway, is that I think that even though we haven't officially put out a bid package, I think from at least the solicitation of the bids from 2 people probably meet the intent of looking at the bid process. I mean, it's not like we just said, hey, let's go, vendor A and just buy it because we've had good experience. But I think, I would think based on what you have here, you've got at least 2 people that have come back with a pretty thorough explanation of what you've got, right?
You've covered the 2 basic dealers within the state of Maine.
And like I said, there are other reps that they've located for the region.
But the key is they're a rep, not a dealer.
Service. And I know there is a M.R.S.A ambulance. I believe it's the closest one now is Arundel, but I know that the guy that's a rep is also working for Arundel, or had been, and works for Biddeford. These 2 vendors here are the ones that have provided an ambulance to us since 2001, and the last being in 2012. We've dealt with both of these companies, and before Sugarloaf Rescue or the PL vehicle, he stood behind the truck.
So what do we need for motion here to allow the,
Yeah, I think what they're looking for is at least a nod that says they're gonna come back at the next meeting with a proposal for us to vote on.
okay, so that we're allowing them to do that without going through a bid process?
I just think it ought to be clearly and publicly stated, since we do have a policy requiring sealed bids. I don't think that's necessary here. I laid out my reasons why in that memo, and if you agree with that, fine. If you don't, fine. So I think a couple of weeks from now we can move forward in either direction.
Do we need something in the minute saying that we agree to not go with the bid process in this?
That's up to you folks.
I would move that, based on the information that we have now, that it would be a waste of taxpayer funds for us to go to an RFP for this when we have a known entity. I think it's going to save us money in the long run. It's a local, and when I say local, it's state of Maine. We're keeping, the expenditure of tax dollars within the state, and I think it's the appropriate thing to do.
So you're making that in the form of a motion?
That's in the form of a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
4-0, thank you.
4-0, bring back a proposal for us to act on it. Okay? Moving on. Discuss vote to approve 3 quitclaim deeds. Just we'll quickly jump to that, just so that,
We've got a, I don't know if there's anybody, is there anybody here for these quitclaim deeds? If you want, we can do consent decree and food pantries if people are in the audience.
yeah, we can do that, or we can, I guess, I just want to, let me go through this quick and we'll make,
Yeah.
someone wants to make a motion to approve all 3 of these. First one is to a Rochelle Prince. It clears 4 liens dating back to August 11th, 2011, up through August 15th, 2014. Second one is for a Scott Stratton. Clears 3 matured tax liens dating back to August 17th, 2012 through August 15th of 2014. And the last one is to a James and Michelle Gardner, clearing 5 liens going back to August 17th of 2010 through August 15th of 2014. All books, pages are referenced in the quitclaim deed, and all of these will release, remise, release, and convey and quitclaim deed to the previous owners, I guess, since the town owns it.
No,
after
these are
the-
not, these are ones that we sold at auction.
Okay, these are the same.
I'll make a motion that we sign all 3 quitclaim deeds of all the liens owed on them.
Do I have a second?
Second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion
4-0.
carries.
Thank you.
Now we'll get on to the consent decree. Set the stage here a little bit. We do have a letter from the code officer, Glenn Charette, who's here this evening. We've got a property owned by Justin and Donna Rice. Diana, I'm sorry. So it's not Donna. So the letter, let's make sure that we do
Yeah,
this
it
right.
was corrected, but
Is it consent decree right? Yes.
Consent decree.
Diana was right, okay. Mortgage survey determined that the deck did not meet setback. I think CEO's recommendation that the consent agreement is an easier solution for Waterboro and property owners. This has been through several owners by the looks of it, right?
That's correct.
So, what is the pleasure of the board? Just so you know, there is in the consent decree, item 2 would be the property owners agree to pay the town a penalty in lieu of legal actions. So,
No neighbors behind the house. I looked at it very quickly the other night, but that you have no back neighbors. That goes out to the flood plain.
correct.
Yeah.
On this, I question the validity of any type of penalty. I mean, this is clearly something that was done in previous ownership. It should have been, as many times in the past has been the case, during the sale, the bank has discovered some impropriety, and they didn't in this case, nor has the real estate agent that should have caught this as well. And I think at this point, the only reason that we would have a penalty is just so the town can collect money. And I don't think that, personally, I don't think that that's a reason why we ought to do anything. If there was a willful violation, or if they contributed in some way to this violation, then my opinion would differ. But They seem to be an innocent victim, and to penalize them for circumstances far beyond their control, I think is inappropriate.
Yeah, I guess my only response to that is the town does have costs associated with, legal costs associated with developing the consent agreement. So, I mean, the
Well,
town, the town should bear the cost of that, so I guess.
Well, a way of looking at that is charging them the town's cost.
275? 175.
175.
175.
If I can remind the board that other situations like this. Yes, Mr. Ryan. Mr. Rice?
Yes.
I don't think I've met you yet.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I have, okay. Gordon, I'm in complete agreement with you. Although, we've kind of set a precedent in Waterboro by charging the residents the legal fees that the town has had to pay for this. And the 175 is actually pretty small compared to what Natalie has done for us in the past. And the Rices have done nothing wrong. Unfortunately, they're taking the brunt of what has happened on the property. But I still think that we should at least collect legal fees, if nothing else. Only because that's what we've done in the past in similar situations.
What are the legal fees on this?
$175.
Anything further? And that is
Uh,
Well, there's the
My time,
there's the
probably.
recording fees, right?
Yeah, the Rices will be responsible
They're gonna
to
be responsible to take it
file
and
that.
record it
And so
anyway, right?
they'll pay that recording fee, whatever that fee is. I've been out there a couple times. I think 175 is a fair penalty for this. Again, only to be consistent. If we're not consistent, it just comes back to bite us.
how many feet?
10.
Inches or?
10 feet.
Yeah.
Which
The
pleasure.
permit was issued by the town at the time that the deck was constructed, so I think there's complicity on the part of the town on some level. I mean, the code enforcement officer at the time granted permission to have that built in violation.
Yes and no. The code officer then, I think it was Patty probably at that time. Code officers don't measure setbacks. We just don't. And you talk to any lawyer, the lawyer will tell you that the code officer should not do that because we're not surveyors, we don't know where pins are, we're just not trained to do that. So Patty,
Point well taken.
yeah, she issued the permit on information given her by the homeowner. And what transpired after that, it's anybody's guess.
You know, the only other thing that could have been done at that time was a Class D survey, if there was any question. But if there wasn't any question in the code office at the time, until the bank did a Class D survey, when you mortgaged or remortgaged or bought or whatever, that's when they found the mistake of the property line.
It always amazes me how these things go through 2 or 3 sales.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, and it's always in the 11th hour, right?
It is, and that's exactly what happened with these folks.
Um,
The first one didn't call for it, and it just so happens the
Did you
second
have
time around.
any like mortgage insurance or
Title insurance?
title insurance? That you might be able to go back and say is,
That's a good question. I don't know that.
Was it done through a real estate agent?
I was, yeah. So we purchased the property in 2009. We did, there was a survey done, we paid for it, was $185. I don't have a copy of it. I thought I did, and I don't have any invoice that I can go back and, retrieve a copy. So we're selling it now, and another survey was done and found didn't meet the setback.
so it's your pleasure, folks.
So,
I guess I'm looking at the cost of the town here. Is it 175? Is it
Yeah.
200? Is it, you know, what's the cost of the town?
The bill from Natalie looks like 175,
Okay.
to the best of our knowledge.
So I will move that the fine will be $175
You know,
for the
second?
quitclaim deed.
Second? Anyone?
I would like to see some of Glenn's hours tied into that, so I would rather see like a $250 fine.
Okay, so I got a motion for 175. I don't hear a second. So I'll declare that that motion dies for the lack of a second, and I guess I'll ask for another motion. You want to make a motion?
I will make a motion that we agree to sign the consent agreement on the debt at a cost of $250.
Do I have-
250?
250. Do I have a second? for
I'll
that?
second it.
All right. Been moved and seconded to approve the consent decree with a fine of $250 to cover legal and municipal costs. Glenn?
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, but just a legal formality, it's not a decree,
Okay.
it's actually an agreement.
Agreement,
And
I'm
those
sorry.
are Actually, quite different terms.
Yes, yeah.
I
But
will
it's got the-
rephrase my,
It's got the right names in it, that's right. So it is an agreement, administrative consent agreement. Everybody's clear on that? So any other discussion, comments? All those in favor? Opposed?
4-0.
Motion carries. Thank you. So you are all set as soon as we sign off. You need it tonight, or?
As soon as we can. We're closing Friday on both properties.
We'll continue on then, while we
Get
pass this
250
around
more
the
on your
table.
asking price.
All right.
Get 250 more on your asking price.
If I could, I would. It's too
Discuss,
late now.
discuss the vote to approve maintenance easement for Dollar General. This is, they are granting us an easement, a maintenance easement for the property that appears to be running up the side of Chapman Ridge Road, I guess.
That's correct.
So what is your pleasure with regard to that?
What do we maintain, I guess?
It's property, their property that they're granting a maintenance easement, so we maintain the road, Chapman Ridge Road.
It's being widened, that's part of the site plan review, not settlement, that's part of the final site plan review, the road is being widened and making a minor incursion onto their property. So we needed that maintenance easement so that we could clear the snow, dig it up if need be, do the usual things to it.
The easement allows us the rights and easement in, on, or over much of the grantor's land located in the town of Waterboro.
And Dollar General is paying for the widening of the road?
Yes. All we're asking for is the right to maintain the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will make a motion that we accept the easement of the land proposed from Dollar General from Route 5 up Chapman Ridge. I don't know if that's,
Yeah, the land is defined in there, it doesn't,
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
and that all improvements be done as spec and done by Dollar General.
okay, it's been moved to grant the maintenance easement, or accept the maintenance easement. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Just one thing that Selectman Woodson raised was that the state maintains the first 300 feet of that. How is this going to impact that? Do we have the authority to enter into an agreement with them if that's the case, or does the state have to sign off on this too, or?
I'm not sure.
State maintains the first 300 feet of Chadbourne Ridge?
That's,
That's the first I've heard of that.
could you elaborate on that from what you know, or?
The sweeping and the cleanup is done by the state down
But
through there. For the water runoff onto Route 5, all that water runs down on Route 5. The state does the maintenance of that.
If it's outside the right of way, isn't it then town
Where,
road?
where is the right of way? Where, how far up Chadman's Ridge and how far up the Clark's Bridge Road is the state easement?
I think it's on the Dollar General plan.
But this easement is for the land that abuts
This,
Chapin Ridge Road,
Right.
okay?
and this is for mainly for the town of Waterboro to plow that third lane.
Right.
Yeah.
So this allows us to plow the
And
road.
I don't think, as far as what the state does, is going to change as far as cleanup in the spring.
I think it's good to have that easement, I just want to make
Yeah.
sure we're entering it appropriately.
But somewhere there, you've got a state right-of-way, which, when you get out to that curbing on Route 5, I'm sure that the state owns that curbing. But I'm not gonna worry about it tonight.
Yeah, but that's up to the state and Dollar
And
General
the
to
state
work out.
is, the state has been involved, and they agreed with the layout of this road, so that's their problem. Not ours as far as the selectmen go.
Okay,
Is there anything happening with that old shoe repair shop?
Gone.
gone, yeah.
It's gone now?
It was in
I
the
didn't
dumpster
notice.
It was in the dumpster yesterday morning or Monday morning, I believe. And the well has been, the concrete section of the well has been dug up. Now, whether the well has been filled or not, I don't know. But
So any other discussion on this? Not, since you're ready to vote, all those in favor? Opposed? 4-0. Thank you. Okay, old business, discuss vote to approve a lease for the food pantry. We have a couple of, that were in the packet. One is a quote-unquote red line copy from the lawyer that shows what was changed, and then there is a clean final version that is being proposed here. This is tax map 28 lot 38. And I think there is a revision to the print, or
Right,
that
if you
is-
go to,
right.
if you go to item number 13,
Yep.
the only other revision later today, like many documents you get from legal office, they've cut and pasted from somewhere else.
Yep.
In section 13, in there was the word parishioners. So, I don't think the pantry's gonna have a church there, so he changed that to contractors or just eliminated that word.
Okay.
That's the only other last minute change I have. Other than that, Cleo did get this, it's kinda late, I mean, she got this yesterday.
Late yesterday.
And you've reviewed it, Cleo? in your
Yes, I
organization?
did, and the majority of the lease, unfortunately, it sounds like we're leasing a building rather than land, where a lot of verbiage, it sounds like we're leasing a building rather than the land.
Well, it specifically says the primary lot, so that's in section
Right,
1, the
right.
premises.
Yeah, but it goes
So-
back and forth.
But it
When you
doesn't,
read further in, you'll see.
but the premises that are being leased are in
Right.
section 1, and it's very clear that it's a lot,
Right, that's fine right there.
okay?
Okay.
I mean, other than,
Yeah, section 3, that's
Taxes,
fine.
construction and improvements is up to the tenant. Must obtain the landlord's written concession.
Section 4, I think, defines it even further, when it says leased premises shall be used to construct a 25 by 35 foot single-story building, so it's
Yeah.
not, I think that's clear that we're not renting you
Right.
the building, we're renting you the land by which you're gonna place a building on.
Right. But then further in, it says that you have access to the building and so on and so forth, because you're the landlord.
Which section bothered you, Cleo?
We'll get, hold on a second, in section 4, I believe it's section 4, yeah, section 4, there's an area that says, the tenant hereby agrees and understands that landlord has the right to utilize the lot for any and all purpose it deems fit, but it doesn't say what lot. It should say,
That's the access lot.
right, but it should say that and
It
not.
says that. Furthermore, the tenant hereby
Oh, yeah,
agrees and
okay, I'm
understands the
sorry.
landlord shall have the right to utilize the access lot for any and all purposes it deems fit.
And the access lot is not within the yellow leased area on the
Right,
site.
it's outside,
Correct.
okay. I just wanted to make that clear. Okay.
Other than that, I think it's pretty
Yeah.
much where it was. I mean, certainly the fundamental changes that we discussed last time have changed. The
Okay.
sections have changed. This section, now section 18 was, section 15 was the waivers.
But if you're not comfortable with it, Cleo, I mean, we could take more time here until you
No,
are.
that's fine. That part there is fine. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read ahead to see where it was that, there's a part, and I'm trying to find it, where it says that we have to have the area paved, the driveway paved.
Yeah, that's in section 4.
Why do we have to have the driveway paved? Not that we won't want to down the road, but it shouldn't be in the lease. The snowmobile club never had to pave their driveway, and they have a lease with the town. So, I mean, it's not something that we don't want to do down the road, but it's extra expense out front for us to come up with.
Isn't that part of the entrance permit from the state? Can I read that on the entrance
I think a
permit?
portion of that's paved anyway going in.
Yeah, the entrance is paved
Paved now.
off the road,
Yeah.
but we're talking about around the pantry,
The parking lot.
the parking lot.
I can tell you, if you don't pave it, you're gonna have a lot of dust on the inside of that building.
Right, but the thing of it is, it's something we want to do.
I understand.
That's very expensive. And to start with, we need to build our building and get ready to serve the people. And as we get more money in, then we definitely will want to pave it.
Section 4 talks about any pavement.
Section 5.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, but this is, but that's the paved area, that's already there.
If you go to 5B, I think that's where she's.
Yes,
In there, it just says you'll sweep the paved area. Well, I guess you won't have to sweep it.
this is section.
I think it's
construction
really talks
improvement.
about maintenance. This is about maintenance. It doesn't talk about what the capital
Okay.
aspects will be. It just says you'll provide and perform such maintenance and repair responsible without limitation to paving, striping, plowing, salting, sanding, sweeping of paved areas.
Section 6 talks about paving.
Yeah, but it says terms of the lease. So if, without limitation, paving, So I don't want to say that we have to pave it. That's what I wanted understood.
That section doesn't say that you do, it just says
No.
if there's paving there, you gotta maintain it.
Go down to
Okay.
6A. That's where it is.
Oh, and it says shall construct the paved area, which shall consist of a paved and striped parking area.
Right.
Yeah,
Together with
exactly.
walkways, roads.
Yeah. You gotta remember, we started with 0 funds. We're working very hard to raise some money to build a pantry.
Well, I think that there's a wiggle room here because it says the tenant at its own cost and expense after consulting with the landlord and obtaining landlord's written consent with respect to this plans and specifications. Well, we're not going, the board won't give their written consent to have it paved. So because you're gonna have to ask us to get it paved anyway at some point.
Okay, yeah, it's a permit, right.
Yeah, so there's, I think, the legal wiggle room here for
Okay,
you not to have it paved immediately.
okay.
But
I
at
just
such-
wanted to
but at
make
such-
sure.
But at such time that you do want it paved, then you're gonna have to submit your request to the Board of Selectmen, and by this, we're gonna have to approve
Okay,
the plans and specifications for the paved area.
I think just to say this maybe a little better way is that you're gonna have to go to see that gentleman right over there to say, this is my plan.
right,
It's gonna have to be presented to us, and it may very well be a phased plan, right? If we approve the phased plan that says the building's gonna go up, you know, maybe 2 years from now, there's paving, or next year there's paving,
right.
at least it's defined then, right? It's a plan that's defined.
There's nothing in here, I guess, that would prohibit phasing.
Right.
Okay,
There's also nothing from the code that requires pavement.
Correct.
okay. Now, there's a section that we have to, let's see, section 7, I believe. So I'm just trying to see. We have to remove that you become the owner of the building, because it will have to go through due process, because we are incorporated and we're nonprofit. So basically, like say the pantry would stop being a pantry, all the proceeds from that building would have to be given to another pantry, according to the incorporation.
Right, but this is just the building or improvements on the land. It's not the contents or the money that you have in the bank.
Or the building would be, see, the
Well, that's
building
an-
would belong
that's
to
an-
the pantry, so therefore
No,
it's recorded as the Waterboro Community Pantry.
I don't agree with what you just said. I think the building goes back to the town if the pantry vacates it.
It does, but you have to go through due process. It's not automatic, at least that's what I was told. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know, but that's what I was told because of the incorporation
Do you
as
have
a
Do
nonprofit.
you have a lawyer?
At the moment, we can't have our lawyer because the lawyer we had is with the same firm that the town has, so we have to find somebody else.
Oh, I
Has
don't
to
want to
be a
be,
conflict
I don't
of
want to
interest.
delay this any more than I want, but my suggestion is that you should have a lawyer review this for your interest.
You need to be comfortable with this.
Right, right.
I think what we have now is being the best shot from our legal team
Yep.
that says this is what it is. I think you need to take and have somebody look at it. That's a suggestion, because the last thing we want to do is, a number of years from now, say, well, the town hoodwinked.
Right,
The-
right.
the-
There was just,
the
there was a few
organization.
things that,
3 months from
Right.
like for the approval for the building, that's just our permit, correct? It's not, we don't need you all's approval, the type of building.
Anything that you do to that property, you need our approval.
Yeah.
just like the Lions, just like the Snowmobile Club, just like any of the others. If there is improvements to be done on that property, you at least have to come to the board, or the town, which is in essence the board,
Right.
and get
Written consent.
approval to do that.
Wouldn't it be, Glenn, that we would get the
Well,
permit
From a permit perspective, you would get it from him. But as an example, this goes back a number of years, but when the Lions decided to put in the elevator, it
Mhm.
came to the municipality, okay, to at least get approval to, that yes, we're gonna improve the property by putting an elevator in.
Okay,
So there were those records that show that, you know, they just can't go do something. When they wanted to put an outbuilding there to do maintenance, or they were making those little carts, right, for, when the Lions wanted to put an outbuilding, they came to the municipality to get permission to put the
Okay.
outbuilding there, okay?
okay,
So I guess this would be similar if you decided, well, we're gonna have an outdoor cooler we're gonna keep, it's not gonna be, we don't have room for it inside, so we're gonna put this contained cooler out to preserve food stuffs, right?
Mhm.
You would have to,
get permission.
you would have to
right.
come,
But for the main building, it would be mostly just the permit?
well, it's the permits and for us to understand what is being done, sure.
Right, right,
In most circumstances, it's gonna be a formality.
okay.
Right.
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to understand. In other words, we kind of know what we want to build and want to get the permit, the building plans and everything. We're trying to do everything correctly, put it that way.
And I would
that-
say, Clea, once the code officer is happy with what you've submitted and what you're gonna build, then it would take one pass through the selectmen to bless that, and then you build a building.
Cool, cool. Okay,
Yeah, because you may decide you want some type of modern geodesic dome out there that just doesn't fit in with the.
you've seen what we want to build. You've seen the picture.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, giving
Yeah.
that as an example.
Right, no, what we want to build is going to blend right in with the area, and everybody that's seen it say it's fantastic because it blends right in. And like that, so it's not something that's going to stick out like a sore thumb or anything.
Clapboard,
Bigger brick?
clapboard outside?
No, wood.
What's the outside gonna?
But we don't need to
Right.
get that deep in the weeds here.
I just think it would benefit you to have someone review this lease for the pantry. And I guess I assumed that was being done on both sides, so
Okay,
Not her side.
okay.
I certainly would be more comfortable with that.
See, this is what it's going to look like.
Okay? Yep.
Very simple. It's a very simple plan that's easy to build and easy to maintain.
It looks like a camp.
Beg your pardon?
Looks a little bit like a camp.
Well, the thing is, with a pantry, you want to make it warm and not this brick building or this shack like that people are going to feel uncomfortable going in. And we wanted to make it easy to build, easy to maintain, and that type of thing. We were looking at all the different areas before we picked this plan, because one is something that, it aesthetically, it'll blend in with the community, but yeah, it'll be easy to build. And our most expensive things will be the cellar, the septic tank, and the well.
Yeah.
That'll be our most expensive.
Probably goes without saying, but on that picture that you just showed,
Mhm.
there doesn't seem to be any handicap accessibility.
That's going to be on the side.
Okay.
See, it didn't have it on the picture, but it's going to be on, that's part of our plan. It's going to be, there's the porch like this, and it's going to go like that. That's a given.
Wouldn't you feel more comfortable if you had somebody else look over this so that you're truly comfortable with the language?
Well, this is it. We're trying to find someone. I had an attorney look at it, and there was just a few points that,
Well, some Pine Tree Legal may do.
beg your pardon?
Pine Tree Legal, they offer free services.
They're so booked
Yeah,
that it would
you
take
could
like
have a
6
lot.
months to
Yeah.
get.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Go back to that attorney that has the conflict because he works for the same firm,
Mhm.
and just get a recommendation for a pro bono attorney
I
at
asked
another
him,
firm. He didn't have a name?
no, he said, by this time of the year, they're totally booked. That's the thing. Yeah, they're lined up the first of the year to get the pro
If you look
bono.
at the York County Bar Association, they have to have so many hours of pro bono. So,
We went through that when we were trying to get help with that 501c3. And I spent like months. Dick will tell you, he tried as well. And so this is the thing. My daughter says if she has time, she'll look at it.
As a,
She is an attorney?
Yes, but in Massachusetts. But it's the same thing. I mean, she knows Maine laws and like that. Okay. There's one in section, I believe it's 14. There's only a few places that, okay, $1 million insurance. Well, when, for 500 liability insurance, it's $625 a year. So if you double that, it would be $1,050 a year for a pantry. That's pretty high.
But you don't know that that's gonna double,
it ain't gonna double.
No,
if you just double that
Yeah.
coverage.
no. But anyways, when I checked, I was told that 500 is kind of the going rate for pantries, liability.
Well, I think our attorney's trying to protect the town in the usual language.
Mhm.
Those are the terms that they put in, so.
Right,
Again, if you have somebody look at this with your interest in mind, that may be a section that they.
right. Well, if you look at, well, you had the lease from the snowmobile club, and theirs is, okay, 100,000 and 300,000. 500,000, that's what theirs is, right there.
And the town attorney's firm said that both the, and this was new to me, that both the ATV club and the snowmobile club drew up their own lease. But Ken Cole didn't do it. So that
I think-
kind of conflicts
I think
with
the
what.
clientele are different. You have to be a member down there, whereas a pantry, you're a
You have to be,
citizen coming off the street.
you have to be, no, they can't come off the street, they have to be, this is a community pantry strictly for Waterboro.
But it's a public building, whereas
Right.
the snowmobile club is a little different in terms of membership.
But the snowmobile club, yes, they rent it out. So you have all kinds of people from the
You gotta have
public,
your own
and you have the senior
liability.
citizen coming for meals, and they come from all over. Because I met some there last year when I was talking to them about the community garden, and they were from New Hampshire, and they were having lunch there. So, you know, it's about half a dozen one, half a dozen another, so to speak.
Well, if your daughter comes up with a list of things, I mean, get that to me and we can talk about that.
Would you want me to have another lease written up?
No,
No?
we're gonna work with this one and
Okay.
this board will decide whether or not to modify it with the suggestions that you and your attorney make.
Okay. Well, what I'll do then, with your permission, is I'll give her this, and she'll make the changes that we want on it, and then I'll bring it to you.
The insurance, I can tell you right now, that's just to have a pair of steers to take to a county fair is what I gotta have. And it's very inexpensive.
Really? Well, I just checked with Mr. Kasperzak, and he was telling me that, because we had asked for 500 liability, and he said that would be $625 a year.
But between the 500,000 and $1 million is peanut.
Is it? Okay.
So I need to get you the later version, which was today, which only has a one-word change. I need to get you that clean copy by email, and I'll send that to you.
Okay.
And then you can take that one and send it to whoever you use for an attorney.
Okay. We're trying to not spend the little bit of money we've collected that go to the pantry and like that.
Yeah, we also need to, you know, you need to have your interests protected as well as the
Exactly.
town, so.
Exactly. The other thing, I had a question, like it said that you were on the insurance for the building, but the building isn't yours.
It's sitting
With
in
a secondary,
Additionally insured, I think the name is, the term is.
Yeah.
And
14.
We have the leaser, we're leasing you the land, so
Yeah.
anything that's on that land is, if somebody gets hurt, they're gonna sue you first, and then they're gonna sue whoever else. is-
You have a clause in there that indemnifies you from anything.
Yeah, that doesn't always work either.
Well, if there's something in section 14 that bothers you, then have your attorney look at that,
Yeah,
make a suggestion.
okay. Yeah, because it says you wanted your name on the insurance for the replacement cost of the building. That was on there, on section 14.
Yo, I can see how your daughter became a lawyer.
You can, huh? And she's also a professor at Berkeley. She teaches music law. And Harvard. She teaches at both.
She goes to California and teaches them?
No, it's Boston. Boston is Berkeley College of Music.
Oh,
But she's a music lawyer.
a music lawyer.
for copyright infringement and that type of thing?
Contracts, all kinds of stuff. Because they have to have all contracts for everything nowadays.
Oh.
So, and she's willing to do it pro bono, so.
Okay,
Okay, well, I will,
one
I'll wait
more
to get the
go
email.
around.
I'll try and email it before I go home. I'm gone for the next 2 days, so I'll try and send it tonight. That way you can
How
get it to her.
soon could we,
2 weeks from tonight.
25th.
the 25th?
Yep, August 25.
Okay. Well, what I will do is I'll take this and we'll make the changes on it that we'd like, and I'll bring it to Gary, and you can take a look at it, and then we can go from there. Does that sound good?
Yes,
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
we'll get there sooner than later.
Oh, hey, I know. Well, hey, I've been at this for a year next month that I've been working.
You're
with
getting
pantry.
close.
We're getting close.
I didn't realize it was gonna take a year.
Okay, other business, discuss a vote to approve the minutes of July 28th regular meeting.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Yep.
Anything, discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
I didn't vote, I think that was the meeting that I was
Yeah,
absent.
I think you were absent.
301 is the vote.
Pending decisions, we don't have any list really started yet. Week's action list, the only action items that I took out of this was, which probably needs to go to Doug, was the tree,
Ricker Lane.
on Ricker Lane, just as far as awareness that the meeting, the Logan Circle folks, I think that was it. You're gonna get the land, the lease to Cleo, right?
Yes.
Agenda items, next meeting, do we have anything already on next meeting?
You have the sheriff and the public safety.
Oh, yeah, so let's
committee.
keep that kind of skinny, because that'll be, we're gonna consume some time.
I see Livingston is bagging in with them in yesterday's paper.
Yeah.
because
So-
they approved it, and then,
And
So we'll bring back the lease.
Do you
your
want,
applicant is available at the next
Right.
meeting.
Okay.
do you want them?
Livingston has a contract actually right now.
yeah.
I think they're
just,
renegotiating the contract.
Yeah,
for the, yeah.
okay, what did you have?
Do you want the Bennett Hill Road Lot Land Trust issue on next week's, 2 weeks' agenda? 2 weeks from tonight?
No, let's do that the first meeting in September. I mean,
Is
it's
that
not
anywhere near that new proposed
across the
natural
street.
campground?
It's across the street.
Almost across the street.
The land that fellow owns starts at the brook on the other side of the road.
This is on the left-hand side after you
Right.
buy the dump. that-
So as-
down.
Yeah, yeah, you go over the brook right there, and I thought
The
it was.
town's
on the left.
property is everything on the brook side of that road that cuts out in there to the
I
left.
didn't realize we owned anything.
That's what he's talking about. On the other side of the road, Bartlett Brook, is where this, what do they call it, a primitive camp, not a primitive campground, but
Yeah,
some sort of a campground,
yeah.
so.
So we'll have ambulance proposal follow-up,
Yep,
pantry lease discussion continuation, public
Yep.
safety committee
yep,
discussion.
and we've got committee request on that, okay?
I don't like the sort of, what is it, Damocles or Damocles hanging over our head all the time. Could you make a phone call to Paul Tibbetts and try to get a little information about what this serious, very serious thing is? I don't like, you know,
That wasn't he here before talking about bike paths, sidewalk, walking area?
no, tonight when he was talking.
I know, but
he
he
says
started
I have a
his
couple of
conversation,
things,
I'm
and
sure.
one thing I'm still working on that I'll be coming back is something very serious.
But months ago, didn't he come to talk about a place to walk on the road
I'm not sure.
safely?
Yeah,
But might be worth a call.
yeah, just-
Okay.
Just a heads up.
All right, items needing signature, the minutes of the July 28th meeting, the quitclaim deeds, consent decree, which I think we already signed, Dollar General maintenance easement, and we're not signing the food pantry lease yet. David's gonna scroll the reminders, and unless somebody has something else, we'll adjourn to a workshop with the CEO. So,
So
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and seconded, a nod on the end of the table. All those in favor of adjourning and going into a workshop? Motion carries.